Hey guys, welcome to the ToughCess Podcast. It's your girl Suma, and this new segment is brought to you by Suma Speaks. And over here, I plan to empower, explore the different journeys of different people, and to understand the different angles to success so we can all build better and become the greater versions of ourselves. So this is ToughCess. What's yours? So today I have the beautiful Garcia Brown with me. Say hello to the people, them, Garcia.
Hi.
So, Garcia is an actress, she is a creative, and so many more. And we're going to get to know her ToughCess today. So, Garcia, I'm going to just start off with, how's your week been?
Hectic. It has been a very busy one, eventful, productive. However, I'm grateful for it. So,
Okay.
yeah, there's beauty in the chaos. That's how I'll sum my week up.
Yeah, I love that. That is cool. So, okay, chaos. Is that the word for the week?
Yes, chaos. Because, as an actress, small business owner, it can get very jam-packed and, you don't get much time for yourself.
Yeah.
Or, I'm the type of person I love, self-care and being at home unwinding, and there's not much of that.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm like working, I call it chaotic because it's just non-stop go.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I do genuinely love that. Because I'm a workaholic in a way.
Yeah, I get you. It just keeps you busy, like, doing your own thing
There
and
you
stuff.
go.
That's what we love to see.
Yeah.
We love to see productive young
Yes.
black women doing
Right?
their thing. So this is Garcia the actress.
Yes.
But we also want to get to know Garcia Brown.
Okay.
Let's start with how we actually know each other.
Let's
Start with that, So I know Garcia Brown through the late Mafu Haidara. May his soul rest in peace. That is my brother that sadly passed away recently. We're not going to go into that in this episode because we're not trying to cry. Okay.
We ain't gonna, honey.
This is a positive episode. But that's how I know Garcia.
Yeah.
And what did he used to say when he first met you?
Sis, you're lit.
He'll be like, Garcia.
Gotcha. You're lit, You're so lit. There's
And
so
she
many
is.
things he would say.
Yeah.
So many things.
Honestly.
We would be here all day if we sat here and listed everything that Mafu would say.
About you.
Yeah.
No, honestly. So when I first met Garcia, I was like, oh my God, she's cool people. Like, she's a bit of me, Like, you're fun, you're youthful, you're just amazing. But obviously there's a story behind everyone, and everyone has a ToughCess,
Most definitely.
And I wanted to get to know yours today because I feel like you're such an amazing human being.
Thank
you. You come across very genuine and kind and caring, and I feel like people need to get to know that side to you, and where you came from and everything. So tell us about Garcia Brown before the acting. If you look back at Garcia at 5,
Yeah.
who was Garcia?
Oh, goodness me. Bubbly, very bold. I would walk into a room and I remember always putting on like performances and stuff for my mom and my aunts. And I would say, growing up as a child in my youth, I didn't have siblings until I was 13. I was an only child. So I was in my solitude a lot, and both of my parents, my mother and my father, always made sure that I was active in a way. Like I was never bored at home, so it would be either having like a paint thing, I would always be doing something. I would either be playing with like my toy kitchen, like my dad will always buy me these things that kept me fully active. And what I realized growing up, the more I grew up, it was a case of like, he was protecting me from the outside world in a way, because he sheltered me a lot. Both my mother and my father sheltered me a lot, and it was like, I'd ask to go, can I go to this friend's house? And it would be like, no, you can't go. And I'd be like, why? Like, the hell? I just want to go play with the kids. And it was like, no, stay at home. And I come to realize that my father was sheltering me from a lot of things that were out there in the world that he knew of, and he was just protecting his baby girl kind of thing.
Yeah, I understand.
So they always made sure that I was just at home. I'm not gonna lie, my dad did want a boy. Yeah. So he would buy me the PlayStations. Yeah. You know, I would, like, when I look back at my younger pictures, I'll be like puffy jackets, cargo pants, and those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And I did have a little tomboy phase when I was growing up. I'll be climbing walls, climbing trees, all of that stuff, playing with Ninja Turtles, Nintendos.
Yeah, that's cute though.
And then my mom was buying me the girly stuff, the baby dolls and the toy kitchen and all of that stuff. But yeah, I had a very interesting, adventurous youth. More so in my house. I would sit at home and run wild with my imagination, come up with stories. I would write as well. As a little girl, I would do a lot of writing, which my mom always said, intrigued her, because she'd be like, you should be watching TV, and I'll be there writing a little story to myself.
Yeah.
So my imagination has always been creative. I've just always been an all-round creative person. And I didn't realize that until I became of age, and I was like, actually, I've been drawing pictures and painting pictures and doing all this madness for a long time. And music is a big part of who I am.
I love that.
Yeah, I take to music a lot, and I could hear a certain sound, and it just sends me into this trance, this world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say growing up as a young girl, it was just at home a lot and just creating stories in my head and being to myself. And in a way, I'm still like that. I love my solitude, as much as I'm a people's people, but to an extent. I have a limit. I can be around people, but then there's times where I need to step away and just be to myself and build my energy back up. My social battery needs to be refilled.
100%. So, and I understand that. I feel like there's importance in solitude, which we will get into at one point on the podcast, So do you feel like being kind of like an only child for the majority of your life forced you to entertain yourself in a way?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it did. Entertain myself and entertain those around me.
Yeah.
One thing that I realized is I love to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that's based off of, when I walk into a room and I sense an energy, I can pick up on it. And if I feel like someone's down or there's an energy switch, I like to make people that not even just people I care about, people in general. Because one thing I always look at is you never know what people are going through. You could see someone on the road and saying hello or giving them a smile, you never know how much it can impact them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. And do you feel like your parents were supportive of you being that type of person? Because you mentioned that they wanted, they kind of sheltered you in a way, and that's them protecting you from a lot of outside things, and because the world is mad and this life is ghetto. Yes. So do you feel like they still allowed you to be you, or do you feel like it was restrictive in a way?
The only restriction was if I'd want to go sleep out somewhere or can I go to the cinemas with my friends? That was the only part that was restricted. Everything else, they wanted me to just be who I was, being at home, playing music, dancing around. I remember my mom used to just walk in my room and laugh and giggle, just walk out. She'd be like, my child is crazy. Literally. And then with my dad as well, we would sit. I remember one of the most fondest memories I have is my dad would always be working, but when he did have to spend time at home, we'd be sat together watching shows and watching films and whatever. And I think he understood that meant a lot to me because of how much I took so much of an interest in entertainment and the little things. So yeah.
Well, that is cool. So did you know that you always wanted to be an actress?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So let's get into it. What made you start thinking I want to be an actress?
The journey. So as a kid, 5, 6, around those ages, my mom did get me into swimming lessons and gymnastics. So I was doing that early on. And with both parents working all the time, it would be a case where, we need to get her into some form of activity. So after school, when we can't pick her up, she has something to do. So I was doing gymnastics and swimming for every weekend for about a good year. And then in school, when I was in primary school, I would always put on little talent shows. So if there was a Friday evening talent show at school, I would get my friends together, let's make up this dance, let's do this dance routine. I'll always be the one let's do this, and I'll make up the routine with them. And we would do the dance. Some of them would drop out when the show came, oh no, we're not doing it anymore. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would always be the one like pushing, like, let's do this, let's do that. And then it was one of my head teachers in my primary school, St. Augustine's. She reached out to my mom and she was like, oh, a theatre company reached out to us and they want some children to join their theatre company. And I think it was about 9 or 10 at this point. And she said, I was younger. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, I was 8 actually. I was 8 when they reached out and they were like, yeah, we want Garcia. She said, we want Garcia to go because that's the only person we can think of right off the top of our heads right now. So I started this theatre company and I would go every weekend and it clashed with my swimming and gymnastics lesson. Yeah. So I remember after a few weeks of going to the acting theatre company, my mum sat me down and she was like, okay, it's clashing. The times are clashing. It's every Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. Which one do you want to do? And I respect that because she didn't make that decision for me. She sat me down and asked me, and that's something my mom always does. Like, she'll talk to me and she said, which one do you want to do? Which one do you have the most fun? Which one do you like the most? And immediately I was like, as much as I love gymnastics and flipping around in there and all of that stuff, I'm not gonna lie, the acting has my heart. So immediately she's like, cool, that's it, done deal. You're doing that. And since that I was going to these young theatre group for kids every weekend, and we would train throughout the year, every month, and then by the end of the year we would put on a big production at the Manchester Theatre. Amazing. And it was just amazing, and I did that for about 4 years going solid. And it was then that I was like, I love this. This is what I love to do. And that's how I got introduced to theatre. Amazing. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, this is what I love to do. And even then I didn't really get the full grasp of that, me being an actor. It was just, this is what I'm enjoying. This is my hobby. This is what I like to do. And then it was when I was in high school. I went to Wally Range High School. Girl. Lord. When I went to Wally Range, again, I would still be putting on the, getting my friends together and saying, let's do this dance and let's blah, blah, blah. And I remember one talent show in particular, I had there was about 10 of us that started off. And I was there making up the dance routines. I made the mix for the dance routine, all of this stuff. And it started out 10. Please believe when it came to the actual performance, I was in the middle of the arena by myself.
Oh my God.
Alone. I said, everybody dropped out. I said, you must be crazy if you think I am going to back out. I said, no, I'm doing it. I danced my heart out to that performance. I said, you lot will not rain on my parade today. I was pop locking and dropping. I was doing the most. So, I did that and I came in second place, and it was so fun. It was such a fun thing to do. But from then, from a very young age, I had it instilled in me, no one's gonna stop me from doing what what's in my heart. I love that. And then for the rest of that year, we had a performance, and that was Little Shop of Horrors, and I got into doing that. I played the ensemble, and then the year after, the play that was for Bugsy Malone. And I was like, okay, cool. I did all my research. I watched the show itself because I didn't know about Bugsy Malone before that. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I went for the role of Tallulah. If anyone that has watched Bugsy Malone, it's these little kids, American kids, they're dressed in suits. The boys are dressed in suits. The girls are dressed in little Chicago cigarettes and all of this stuff. And I went for the role of Tallulah, who's the main lead girl. And I was like, okay, cool. Auditioned for it. And then this was when I was in year 10, and come to find out, the head of acting teacher came to me and she was like, okay, you've got a lead role. Amazing. But I just want to make sure that you're good with the lead role that you've got. And I was like, okay, what is it? Me, I'm like, I got Tallulah. I'm excited. Cool. She was like, we want you to play Bugsy. Okay. I said, you want me to play a little boy in a what? Oh my and she's God. Like, we want you to play Bugsy. We really feel like you can, embody that, blah, 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 a little boy with an American accent. And I was like, oh my God. And at first I was like, I can't do this. Can I do this? Can I do this? And I remember talking to my mom, and my mom was like, you were built for this. What do you mean, can you do it? You're my child. And I was like, okay, I'm your child.
I love that.
Say no more, sis.
You ain't going to come embarrass me now.
So I remember doing that show. And when I say my heart was beating, the first opening night, my heart was beating out of my chest, a arena full of people. Wow. And the first night that I did that performance, the rest of the nights, I think we were going for 5 nights. The rest of the nights, I was just like, yeah, I got this. We're chilling.
Yeah, it's all
and
good.
it got standing ovation, and everyone was just so, oh my God, you did so great. And I can't believe I kept this whole American accent for the whole
No
performance.
way.
Yeah. Like,
and how old were you then?
Year 10, I was what? Probably
15,
about 14, 15.
That is so cool.
Literally, it was amazing. And from that, I got my first agent because my acting teacher invited agents down to watch the performance, and she didn't tell us. And then the second night, he approached my mum and he was like, yeah, we're interested to represent her. We want her to be on our books. And then I didn't really know, like, what an agent was. I was just acting to act. This is what I do. I love to do this. So when he approached my mom came to me and she was like, well, you've got an agent now. I was like, oh, okay. And then from that, I got my first TV credit. That was my first step out of theatre, because before that, it was just, I was doing performances, theatre, that show after show.
And that was Shameless, right?
Shameless, yeah, that was my first
Tell
TV
us
credit.
About that.
When I'd done the audition for Shameless, it was interesting. It was fun. It was very fun to do.
Yeah.
The role that I went for, I didn't get that role. I got the role of the best friend, and that was pretty cool. And when I remember getting the call. So at this point, I was working in Hollister, girl, because you gotta have your little retail job when I was in college, first year of college, and have my little retail job. And I went for the audition and everything. I was like, okay, cool, it's whatever. And I was in work one day, and I had my phone on me on the shop floor, which you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So if anyone from Hollister's watching this, I'm sorry. So my phone's there vibrating. So I remember answering my phone. I was like, oh, hi, I'm in work. It's my agent on the phone. He was like, okay, cool, I'll make it really quick. He was like, you got the job? I was like, I got the what?
Oh my God.
He was like, you got the acting job? I was like, no way. And from that, I got a car sent for me, took me to set, did my lines, I met the cast.
Oh, wow.
The man that played Frank Gallagher at the time, amazing actor. He was so fun to work with. He's a completely different person to his character, because his character's like this drunk man that has no like sense of anything. He's just there to be there and drinking 24/7. When I met him, he was like, hi, nice to meet you. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who are
this
you?
Is different.
Yeah. So it was really fun to do, and that just gave me my insight to TV and being on a production site and all of that stuff, and I fell in love with it. I was like, okay, I love theatre, but I love this too. And I was just like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is the decision that I'm making, and I'm going with it, because everything before that, I was just doing because my heart was in it, and I loved to act and I loved to do it. After that, and after I did Shameless, I was like, yeah, this is serious now. And that was when I was 17.
Right.
So I was 8 when I got into the theatre group. Then I was 17 when I was like, acting,
it's going to be a job for me
this
now.
Is my professional work. This is what I want to do. When you have retail jobs and whatnot, it's like, okay, you're doing it because you're making money here and there, and it's something to do, pay the bills. Back then it wasn't really paying bills, it was buying myself the cute shoes,
flexing on him a little bit.
So after that I was just like, this is it for me.
I love that. That is amazing. What a journey.
Literally.
So where do you feel like your confidence came from? Because this requires a lot of confidence, honey. From 8 you're in theatre, then 17 you're like doing big things. How was that, like, with your confidence and stuff? To be honest with you, I think I've actually always been a confident person. And I think that came from being young, and my mother especially, like, supporting everything that I did, and always like she always told me, you can do anything you want to do. And my father always told me something that stuck with me. One of the main things he said to me was, should never be in your vocabulary. Amazing. Never say you can't do something, because you can do it. That stuck with me for life. So with that going on, I was like, I can. So anytime something was thrown my way that was telling me, oh no, you can't do it, I was like, sis, try again. I can. But my confidence was just, it was something that was always there. And I think it's because I was always like, I love the spotlight. I loved the spotlight. I loved just being that energy in a room where it's like, guys, look, come on, man. Like, why is everyone down? Why is everyone upset? Like, come on, let's be happy. It was just energy. Like, I always brought energy. And I think that's what carried me through. And
just, it was hand in hand.
Yeah.
Made me a confident person.
Yeah, I love that. I love that your family structure really contributed to your confidence.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to have that kind of support in your life from young, because
Definitely.
you have that environment where you grow easier.
Yeah.
And nobody's pushing you down, and like there's no barrier. You know what I mean? I mean, you might have had your own struggles, which we'll get into.
Honey, the family structure there was that side of it. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's good with the bad.
Right.
So there was
okay.
also bad, and that built me to be who I am, to think the way that I do. So yeah, there was always good with the bad, because no one's life is sugar-coated. As much as people love to show one side of it, it's not always
It's
that.
not
Like,
always,
we all
yeah.
have struggles.
Yeah,
that we deal with.
definitely.
It's just how you deal with it and how you come out.
Yeah. So when you realized that you wanted to do acting as like a profession, how did you feel the times when you wasn't getting paid?
Oh, honey.
Because acting, there's different parts to it.
I was upset. When I'd go for auditions and I realized I didn't get the job, I'd be like,
What do you mean I didn't
why
get
they
the job?
don't want me? Oh my God. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it would, there'll be times where it's discouraging and it makes you feel like you question a lot, and you'd be like, was I not good enough? What did I do wrong? You know, what didn't I do? What did I do? What should I have done differently?
Yeah.
And I would do that for a very long time. And I'd never show that side of me to anyone.
Yeah.
I'd always go through that by myself behind closed
Right.
doors, because that's one thing about me. Like, anytime I'm going through something, my friends, my family, they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
It's only later on where I'll open up, I'll be like, okay, you know, I was going through this at this time. They'll be like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah,
You could have
like,
gone through it together.
exactly.
I'll be like, that's not how I operate. Like, I have to close off and actually feel the rain and actually come out of it on top. But that's something that I have worked on, and I am a lot more open now, and I do discuss it, because it's not healthy to, you know, because it gets hard. Like, sometimes you can get yourself in a very depressive state if you're dealing with so many things alone, you know.
course.
So yeah, when I wasn't getting the jobs, and you know, I'd find myself going to this retail job every day, and I'm like, this is not where my heart is. I feel so discouraged, and I ended up walking out of a job because of that. Like, I got a good promotion, but I was just like, this is not where my heart is, and I left the job. And I remember going home and telling my mom, and again, like, I have to give her all her props, because you know, some like you tell your mom, oh mom, I left this job. They're like, why did you do this?
Yeah.
My mom was just like, listen, if your heart wasn't in it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Better will come.
Yeah.
She'd always encourage me, and you'll be fine. You know, we had our times where she even stepped back and she was like, maybe you should be a lawyer. Maybe you should go to university. I said, what do you mean?
What
like,
do you mean?
You've been backing me this whole time. What do you mean I should be a lawyer? Don't do me like
don't
this.
do that.
Literally. But yeah, anytime I felt discouraged, I would take a step back and I would beat myself up about it for a little. And then I would come out and be like, do you know what? The next one. But one thing I would always do, I would keep pushing through. That's one thing that I can say. You know, if I didn't get the job, I'd be like, okay, cool. I feel how I feel. And then maybe a few weeks down the line, I'd be like, do you know what?
Yeah.
When's the next job? When's the next one coming? When's the next audition? I'd be talking to because I have a different agent now.
Amazing.
I went through a whole thing with my first agent and my second agent. So my first agent, it didn't really work out, and I was just like, you're not really in it for the right reasons. And you know, I didn't really understand, and I was just like, you're not in it, and the relationship, the bond, is just not there. And I'm sure he had a lot going on in his own personal life. You know, his wife was expecting kids and whatnot, and I was just like, but you're not doing what an agent is supposed to be doing. I'm trying to reach out and talk to you, and you just don't have time
for me.
And I was just like, this is not cool. And when I ended up walking out of one of my retail jobs, there was, and this is the thing with alignment, everything, the way, when I look back on my journey, I'm like, the way everything aligned for me is very interesting.
The things that didn't work out.
Literally, it was for a reason.
Yeah.
And I was in before I walked out, I had about 3 different people, because every time they would, like, I'd have customers, I would chat to my customers, like, oh, how are you today, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd get into the conversation, like, I'm an actor, and blah, blah, blah. And about 3 different people mentioned my agent I'm with now currently, he had, like, he has acting classes that go on.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, you should check out such and such person from DNA. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
okay, you're like the second person that said that. Okay, cool. I'll push it to the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Get on with work.
Yeah.
And then about a month later, someone else said it. You should check out such and such person from DNA. I said, okay, God, what's going on? Are
Maybe
you?
this is a sign.
I should be listening, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen. And then when I walked out of my job, I remember going online searching, and he was in Manchester City Centre, and I went to see him. I booked a meeting with him one day, and I went to see him, and immediately when I walked into the room, I was just like, there's an energy. There's an energy in here. And I was like, I feel very, comfortable with this person. And I was like, yeah, I'm an actress and blah, blah, blah. I showed him, stuff that I did previously. I told him about my journey with my first agent. And he was like, oh, I've heard stuff about that person. Okay, cool. Then I started his classes. And when I started his classes, it was history from then. From, I think I was about 18 when I met Darren.
Yeah.
And from then, it was just like, yeah. And from then till now, I am 28.
Wow.
I have
10
been
years.
10 years.
Oh my
decade
gosh.
in the bag. And one thing about me, like, when if I'm on an agency with someone or friendship, anything, no matter the relationship, I believe in loyalty. Like, that's one thing that stands out to me. Like, you don't have to be, not everybody's loyal, but the way I operate, loyalty means so much to me. And if I tell myself I am on this journey with you, I am on this journey with you, because within the 10 years of being with Darren, there's been highs and lows with audition processes. I've come to final 2. There's been so many processes where I've come to final 2 and we're both there this is it, I've got the job, I'm gonna have it. Jobs in America, I'm like, he's like, you've got this is yours. Then we'll get the results back, we've gone with someone else. And he's been there, and he's literally
shout out to Darren.
Shout to that. Like, honestly, I will sing his praises for the rest of my life. And he's always, Garcia, like, you're so resilient and you're fine, you've got this, something will come. He always said it. And I always remember his voice in the back of my head. I'd be like, but they don't want me to.
Yeah.
He'd be like, no, stop, you're fine, you'll be okay. So yeah, even when I wasn't getting the jobs and, I get little things here and there, and I'd have people in my ear, because people that aren't actors and don't understand the profession and know the highs and lows, they're just on the outside, and they're like, why don't you go on EastEnders? Why don't you go on this show? Why don't you go on that show? And it's like, it doesn't work like that.
No.
Okay, they have to put out the character briefing, then you apply to be a character, then they put you through the audition process. The audition process can go on for like 10 different audition rounds, and they're auditioning like 1,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
1,000 different people that have your look, have your
flair, and everything.
Literally. And literally it comes down to the one that they want. So when I go through many of these audition processes and it was like, okay, I didn't get it, it was just like, and they would be in my ear like, oh, maybe you should change your agent, maybe you should change who represents you, and blah blah blah. And I'd just be like, nah, you guys don't.
You don't know nothing.
You don't know who Darren is and what he means to me. You're mad. You're mad. If you think I'm giving up on his man, you're mad.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there together.
That's it. And I even said to him, like, I kid you not, I made him a promise, and I said, listen, you see, when I'm in the big league and I'm up there with the Viola Davises, I said, when I have my homes in America and whatnot, he's gonna have his own private villa section.
I love that.
I made that promise to him. I said, listen, don't worry. He'd be like, I'll hold you to that. I said, you hold me to that. Because I'm one person. I'll carry through my promises.
Definitely. Definitely. You are that person.
But yeah, genuinely. He's a great man.
That's amazing. I love that. So how do you feel like you maintain that relationship with him? Because 10 years is not 10 days, honey.
It's not. It is not.
And this was a complete stranger that was just recommended to you. And you trusted him with yourself, essentially. So how... Exactly. Something that means so much to you. How did you build that trust?
The thing is, I believe in connections. Like, I feel like you come across people for reasons. People are either in your life to teach you something, for you to... Everyone's in your life to teach you something, whether it be good or bad. Absolutely. There's a reason why you cross paths with someone, why things happen. And all those little messages that I was getting to go to DNA, to go to Darren, was the universe basically telling me, like, it's time. This is the person that you need to meet now. It's time. And we built this connection from... you know, staying in contact, checking on each other. He checks on me, I check on him. How are you? Is everything okay?
Yeah.
You know, we build each other up, literally, because for him, as much as it's, as an actress, it's hard for me. It's like, okay, I've got all these jobs and, this audition didn't go my way. It's also hard for him because he's out here. I'm not the only talent that he has on his books. He has many others that he's balancing. And it's like, it's not all about me, you know? So I step back and I'm like, check on Darren.
Yeah.
Make sure Darren's cool. Make sure Darren's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not just a strictly professional relationship. It's, I go and see Darren, I make sure Darren's okay. If we're going for a walk, we make sure our mind states are good. It's that kind of thing. And I feel like when you have a genuine connection and a bond with someone, you have to make sure that they're okay. It's not just about, you know, it's my best friend, so I have to check on my best friend. Everybody else is okay. You have to check on the people that you care about, that you have genuine, you know, connections and bonds with. And that's what we have. It's
I love that.
all about that. So I see him like literally, if I don't see, because I do classes with him, so acting classes, I go to his acting still to this day, because I believe as an actor, like, as much as you get jobs, you there's room for learning.
Definitely.
You never stop learning as a person and as a professional person. So if I don't see him in acting classes, I'm like, I'll message him, I'm coming round. Yeah, I'm coming round. He'll cook. Like, Darren is just that person where he's a proper mentor, friend. He's just an amazing all-round person, and as I said, I'll continue to sing his praises because he's just there for everyone. He's there for everyone.
I love that. Everyone needs a Darren.
Everyone needs a Darren. Like, literally, he will probably be like, no, I don't need anybody else to come in and stress me out, but no, I genuinely feel like everybody needs a Darren in their lives.
That's amazing.
And you know, when I lost Malfu, I also lost another friend, Joe, and it was me, him and Darren, that we were like a unit, you know? And last year when it was Darren's birthday, I remember Joe hit me up and he was like, right, we're surprising Darren for his birthday this year. We never get to surprise him. I was like, cool, let's do it, you know? And he was so shocked. We took him for dinner. It made it look like it was just the three of us going for dinner. And it was like a room full of like his students, his friends,
that is
all
so
of
amazing.
us. And just little things like that. Like, I appreciate little things like, because it goes a long way.
Definitely.
Because, you know, the small, I always say little things in life mean so much because you don't know how much of an impact it makes on a person.
Absolutely. That's right. You're so right. So that's amazing, honestly. And I'm glad that you have that relationship with Darren and, you know, someone that you can work alongside and someone that is your friend beyond everything, you know, and you built that relationship. You did that. So how did you silence the noise on your career journey? Because there will be a lot of noise where people will be telling you, like you said, why don't you get another agent? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? How do you silence the noise and focus on you and what you want? And even whilst having an agent, how do you still focus on what you want to do?
Okay, so in the past 3 years, about 2-3 years ago now, I had my own like journey spiritually where it shed light on a lot of things. It made me see things a lot clearer. It brought me into my meditative state where I listened to myself more. Before, I listened to myself, but it was like I would still allow people's words to consume my thought process. Right. You know? And it was always a case of, oh, I wonder if they're right, or, you know, I'd always be sat there pondering on something that someone said, and I would make that fatigue me for like a week. Like someone could say the simplest thing, and because I feel energy behind that, because I'm an energy person, like as much as some people may say something, I feel it, you know? And I'd always allow that to consume me, like, I wonder, so I would battle with myself a lot back then previously. And I would more say, I would silence the noise more back then with going back and forth with myself. Right, okay. That was how I silenced the noise, whereas now I go within. Like I would sit with myself, I would pray on it. I will more so, like when I pray on it back then, it would be like, okay, I'm waiting for this message to come through. Whereas now I'll pray on it and I'll just let it be what it is. And I'll let the answer come to me when it needs to come to me. I'm not searching for the answer anymore. Yeah, you know? You're
not asking people for permission to do things, you know.
There you go. And it's just, trusting in my intuition, trusting in my thoughts, in my feelings, and in myself. I'm also trusting in
Yourself.
me 110%, because, you know, the more I grow within my spirituality, I don't seek validation. I don't seek answers from anyone. I don't seek anything from outside of me. It's all from within.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to people and they're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to church to get this answer, and I'm like, that's fine. That's okay. But everything that you need is within you. You know, God is in you, is instilled in you. You know, we all have a conscious thought process.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll be sat there like, it's not you talking, you know, it's God telling you. It's your conscious mind. So I always urge people, listen to yourself, and don't let, you know, what people project onto you be the be all and end all.
Yeah.
Just push that to the side, because people do a lot of projecting. The world that we live in now, people will project. People will be going through what they're going through, and they will take it out on you.
Yes.
Disregard that. Draw the line.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of just within. I delve within. I sit with myself. My solitude helps a lot.
Yeah.
Like when I'm with myself, answers come to me quicker, faster, clearer. And the craziest thing is, like, I find things out that way as well. Like, you know, sometimes you don't have to, with me, I don't have to seek for answers.
Oh no,
now.
trust me, I can relate.
I don't look like, you know, and I always say to myself, like, I feel sorry for, like, my future husband, because there's no trying to lie. They don't try and lie. Like, you know, if some friends try and lie, I can feel the energy behind it, and I will leave you there to think, yeah, you got one over. Okay, that's how you feel. I say no more. Yeah. But intuitively, I know. And then even if I'm still unsure, it will come to me later. I will never seek. I will never seek. And look for it. It just comes.
I love that. I love that. That is speaking to me. Yeah. Because I feel like I struggle with that sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I don't trust myself enough. So listening to you makes me feel like, okay, I need to trust myself more. What I feel matters. Yes. And I think that's so important, you know. So yeah, that is very, very interesting. So what do you think is, like, how do you feel like you actually found you? Because as an actress, you're acting a lot. Yes. You're doing other characters. And you can hide behind them characters. Do you feel like you ever struggled finding who Garcia Brown was?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
In my early years growing up, because obviously society, the way that society is, it does that to you. You know, you go on the social medias and you see people living these kind of lifestyles. And remember, everyone's showing you what they want to show you.
Of course.
You know, not what's going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
And you will delve into social media and you'll be like, oh, you know, well, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Or what am I? And for a very long time, and as an actress, you know, with being an actor, if you don't have a stable acting job, the money's not always there. So if you have to go back to this retail job and whatnot, and then people are looking at you like, were you not just on that blockbuster movie? How are you back in working in Tesco?
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's more so growing up. Society did play a big part in that, and you know, I'd be around friends that, you know, they have on the Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada, and you're looking at that and you're like, oh, you know, and I'll always work for my own now, always. I would no matter how many don't let the material kill you, Sha. I like nice things, but I will not kill myself for nice things, right? So it will be a case where I'll have this little job, and you know, it comes to a point where I want to treat myself, because I like to do that. I like to make sure I'm working hard, but I'm treating myself at the same time. So I buy myself a little cute bag, lovely shoes, that. But the more and more I'm going on social media, the more and more these people have it. I'm like, what are you doing that I'm not doing? You don't even have a job. I'm confused.
Yeah, what's going on? Exactly. Give me the prayer that you prayed.
So you'll be looking from the outside and thinking. So growing up and being in my teenage years, I did have an identity crisis where it was like I was still learning and understanding myself and trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted, what I liked, what I didn't like. And the last relationship that I was in shaped and molded a lot for me in that sense, because it was like, after that experience, it taught me, okay, this is who I am. You know, I got to a point where I was like, That's what I like. That's what I don't like. I'm going to stand on that. I'm not literally,
Rihanna.
I'm not allowing anyone to tell me, oh, no, maybe you should try it. No, baby.
No.
If you don't like what I have to offer, what I do, what I bring, the door is over there, okay? And
take
lock
yourself
it
out
behind you. Literally. So, yeah, it did shape and mold me. And literally, when I had that experience, it was then that I stepped into, because before that, I had my power. I just didn't know my power. I did not know my power.
Guys, if you're listening, click.
Yeah, I didn't know my power as much, you know? And the craziest thing was, people from the outside will see you and see the power that you have within. But
you're not seeing yourself.
You're not seeing it yourself. And they will, if they're afraid of how powerful you can become, they will also try and diminish it from early before you step into it. I kid you not.
Yes.
I'm telling you, there's some energy vampires.
They want to just suck the life out of you and just leave you there because, I cannot be an actress. You too. You shouldn't be an actress.
You can't do it.
What did they do? Please.
Don't do it that way. Do it this way. And then they're stamping on your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations.
Parading on your
literally,
joy.
Yeah. So, yeah, when I stepped into my power, I was like, yeah. This is me. This is I always, you always have a sense. I always had a sense, but I just didn't know how much. And you know, relationship wise, I always took a step back from those. I won't lie. I was scared of relationships.
I was still scared.
Terrified. I said, I don't want it. Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep
it's
it.
True.
And I think that stemmed from childhood as well, because the way that my father raised me, you know, he gave me a lot of insight to the way men think, the way men are, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that. And it did shape and mold how I was and how I was very hesitant to relationships and not letting anyone in quickly. I can't do it for the life of me.
Yeah.
I will take a good... however long, I'll have to process and understand, you have good intentions, you not have good intentions.
Yeah.
I need to know before I make this step.
100%.
Because once you make that step, you're in.
Yeah, the people around you shape you.
I'm all in. So yeah, when I went through that transition, I was like, it wasn't even just a relationship thing, it was friendships as well. Like, I took a major step back from some friendships, and it wasn't even in a sense of we can't be friends anymore. It's just the way that this friendship and this bond was built is not how it's going to continue.
Yeah.
And things needs to be shaved down. And if you can't accept that, if you can't take what I'm saying to you, it just proves this isn't it. This isn't the relationship and the friendship that's needed.
That's for you.
You know, because if people aren't accepting your growth, they're not
for you.
They're not for you.
Yeah.
And not everybody is going to, not everybody that you start off with can continue on your journey with you.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And that's fine.
There's no bad blood.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
You wish them all love, but it's like...
And still pray for them.
Yeah.
Because they need it.
Yeah.
They need prayer.
Yeah. And prayer is important.
Hey.
Prayer moves mountains.
It does. So yeah.
You know, so that's amazing. So that leads me on to my next question, which is, how do you actually maintain the relationships around you whilst being an actress? Because you got your mom, you got your dad, and are they still together, if you don't mind me asking?
No,
or?
my mother and father broke up when I was like 9. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, from a young age.
Okay.
So
you had to build 2 relationships in 2 different environments, you know.
Yes.
And you had a younger brother that came along
when I was 13.
When you was 13. So you gotta get into all these things. You gotta let them know. How did you do all of this? Because it's a lot.
It is.
You know.
When my mom and dad broke up, it was, at first for me it was difficult because they would always, it was a thing where they would always, it was the norm for me.
Yeah.
So when they did break up, I think in a sense I more eased into it because it was healthier for my mom, and my main priority has always been her happiness.
Right.
I think one thing that I'd always do is run to my mom's rescue, without a doubt. If that woman is going through hell and high water, please believe, if I'm on a plane, I'm swimming back.
Yeah.
I'm swimming oceans.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, anything that pertained to her happiness was, that was it for me. So when I seen that she was happier, she was, I was like, okay, cool, this is it. And I'm not gonna lie, when because she had another partner, and when he stepped into the picture, please believe, I was 10.
Yeah.
And I was 9 going on 10, and I wrote her this note being a child, I wrote her this note.
Not a note now.
I wrote my mama a note, honey. And I was like, please make sure you know what you're doing. I want the best for you.
I love
They
this.
bring it up to this day.
Yeah.
My mum and my stepfather, they bring it up to this day. Do you remember when you wrote your mum that note warning her and telling her to not get into a relationship with me? I said yes, because I want my mum to be happy.
Period.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not taking any chances. I don't know you. Sir, I don't know you. I said, sir, I don't know
Any
you.
problem, Mum, leave him over to me.
Right. I will deal with it. That is it. That's one thing my father always said. I will
Leave him over to me.
Oh my god.
I'm screaming. Oh
So
my
yeah,
God.
I wrote her this note as a child, honestly, and this is what I say, like, I've always been intuitive. I've always been looking out for those that I care for. And I wrote this note and I was just like, please be sure, make sure you're making the right decisions. Blah 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 blah. So yeah,
That's
looking
so
out for her.
sweet.
So with that transition, it was, at first it was hard for me because when my mum and my dad broke up, it was just me and my mum 24/7
24/7,
everywhere, doing
yeah.
everything together, and it was amazing. So when this new person stepped in, I was just like, I don't trust you. Who
Yeah,
are you?
yeah.
Who are you? What do you have to?
What do you want from
Yeah,
us?
what do you want? But yeah, literally after that, me and him became the best of friends. Like he genuinely had the best intentions, and he even taught me a lot as well when it came to relationships. And yeah, I pretty much had, growing up, I had two fathers. I can say I had two fathers.
That's amazing.
I had the privilege of having two men that I can say looked out for me, had genuine intentions for me. My dad, I'm not gonna lie, was a little jealous, he didn't like it. He was like, I'm your father.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm father. I'm the OG.
Yes.
So don't worry, daddy, I know.
I know. Aw.
But yeah, with my relationships and it was, I would just say I always check on them. I make sure everyone's okay, and it's always the little things for me. Even if it's to pop up on my mom and bring her, a bouquet of flowers or any little thing, like, and she's so appreciative of any little thing that I do. And it's so cute, and I'm just like, you my girl.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Aww.
Even when there's times where she bothers me, she'll call me, like I'll finish work, she'll call me, oh, I'm going out, can you do my makeup for me? I'm like, sis, I'm half asleep.
Yeah.
Really? And I'll be annoyed about it, but I'm like, do you know what, come. Because
Come on
me,
then.
I love when my mom looks good, I love when she goes out, she's stepping out looking cute. So yeah, with the relationships, I would say just any little thing from checking on, from a 2-minute call to, like, even my brother, he messaged me yesterday and he was like, hey, I was in work, he's like, hey, you okay? I was like, what do you want? Immediately I said, what do you want?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, tell
And
me.
he's like, I'm just checking on you. I was like, yeah, sure you are. And then we were talking and whatnot. I was like, what are you doing? So he was at home. So I was like, have you eaten? He was like, no, he's not eating anything yet. So I said, I'm going to order you some food.
Aww.
He was like, sis, thank you.
Aww.
I said, what do you want me to order you? He was like, KFC, McDonald's. I said, there's no way. There's no way. Because I don't eat that stuff personally.
Yeah.
So I was like, anything that I'm ordering you has to be healthy.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, cool. You choose. Then I ordered him some food. And he
Aww.
messaged me back. And he was like, yo, I love you. And I was like,
Aww.
I got you for life, bro.
Aww.
So just things like that. And I have so many friends. Like, I have male friends as well that we have those bonds. And it's just like, I appreciate having friends that I care for, I can check on, that check on me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get little random messages, like, just checking on you, making sure you're good. And I'm just like,
I love that.
I genuinely appreciate it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And I don't have many friends. Like, I just have a handful.
close-knit.
Literally a close-knit. Because not everybody I call my friend.
Yeah.
There's
of
associates
course.
and whatnot, but
Yeah.
I don't call everyone my friend. I hold the privilege over that, because if I consider you a friend, I consider you family.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So yeah.
I love that. I love that. So from the energy that I get off you and just speaking to you and just knowing you in general, you seem like a very securely attached person. And you're very secure in your attachments with people. But how do you deal with people being dependent on you? And being, like, kind of always coming to you for stuff. You're the eldest, you're the eldest daughter. You're an elder sibling. You was an only child for a while. You're a many things. So how do you deal with that?
I'll be honest, sometimes it feels like, I have those moments where I feel like, but then when I look into it, I'm like, I appreciate the fact that I am the one that's able to take, because that's one thing that I would pray for a lot. I'd always ask God to put me in a position where I can take care of others, take care of people around me. That was one of the main things that was in my prayer. I was like, please God, put me in a position where, you know, I am earning and I can look after. And I still aspire for that, because as much as I'm on my journey and I'm in a very well job, I'm still like, honey, there's still more mountains to climb.
Of course, yeah.
So, you know, being able to have them reach out and say, can you help me with this, or can you, I appreciate that. And I have people that as much as I'm taking care of, you know, family, I have people that I can also turn to and be like, as much as I was let me get into it,
girl.
Growing up, I'm very independent. You know, I don't like to depend on a soul. And I think I get that from both my parents.
Yeah.
You know, my father always made sure I didn't want of anything from anyone. I never needed to ask a family member or anyone for money, anything like that. And my mom's always been a very independent woman. So I took that from her. Like, as much as my father was earning money, he would give her anything she wants, buy her the clothes, the this, the that. My mom still held her job down. Because one thing she said to me was, never depend on a man 100%.
Are y'all hearing that?
Baby.
You got to repeat that one for the audience that's listening. The ones at the back.
The ones in the back. Never depend on a man 100%. Because as a woman, you know, you can get yourself in a predicament where you don't want to be caught in a codependency issue, you know? And if you are in that position, there's no one you can turn to, because if that man secludes you, you're depending on him financially, you have nowhere to turn. You don't have anything.
That's true.
My father taught me, save for a rainy day.
Yes.
That has sticked with me for life.
Yeah.
So no matter what predicament I'm in, whatever's going on, I know I have my rainy day stash, and I'm never depending on someone 110%.
Yeah.
Now, growing up, I took that 110% too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, no, I don't need you to take care of me.
Yeah.
And I remember the last relationship that I was in, and it stuck with me, because he was like, you make me feel like less of a man because...
Oh, he was intimidated.
Baby! Ooh, it stuck with me, because I was like, I don't want you to feel like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mean for you to feel like that, but it's just how I've been raised, how I am, you know? And he's like, you know, when we go shopping or whatever, I'm doing my grocery shopping, honey, I'm carrying my bags. I was very much in... I'm very much...
Don't hold my bag. I will hold it.
I would hold it. I was very much in there's masculine and feminine energy, and we all have that. And I was very much in my masculine. But what people need to understand is, until a man makes you feel secure enough to be in your feminine,
speak on it.
You'll be in your masculine.
Yes.
So that's where I was at that point, right? So, you know, I'll be doing all my stuff. I'll go, you know, shopping or whatever. He'd be like, why didn't you wake me up to come with you? Honey, you're sleeping.
Yeah.
I told you from yesterday I wanted to go do shopping at this time.
You didn't remember.
It's your own.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do it, right?
It is
and he said, you know, you make me feel like, you know, less of a man. I didn't mean to make you feel like that. If you feel that way, I'm sorry. Then when I came out of it, I thought, you felt very intimidated at the fact that I'm doing everything that I need to do for myself.
Yeah. You shouldn't.
I can't apologize for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a you problem.
If you want to be a man, let me take that. Let me hold that.
Yeah.
You be a man and you step into that.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm not going to teach you how to be a man. Not your mama.
And I'm not going to be.
Thank you. So yeah, growing up, very independent, hyper independent, I would say. Like, I kid you not, moving into my apartment, I did all of that by myself.
Right.
I built my furniture, my bed, all of that stuff. I put my curtains, everything. And I remember when I invited my friends over, and they were like, oh my God, who did you get to do this? I was like, me. And they were like, Garcia,
you did it all yourself.
why do you do this? Why didn't you call me?
But it turned out good though.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, do you know what? And I took a step back and I was like, do you know what?
I need help
sometimes. It doesn't kill for me to reach out and say, can you help me with this? Can you whatever. Yeah. And I'm on my journey, I'm learning that. I'm unlearning and I'm relearning a lot of stuff. I'm breaking all of the barriers that I built. There's a lot of barriers that I still have in place because they need to stay there.
Yes.
But there's like stuff like that. So yeah, I do have friends that I can reach out and, I need help with. I think probably only two.
Yeah.
Only two.
Yeah.
Only two. Yeah. Only two. And my mom being one of them.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I will help you. I don't know what. Because, you know, growing up, and I think the reason why, another reason why, I've seen a lot of people, they'll do something for you and they will take it and tell everybody. They'll tell the world, I just did this for her, and I just did. If you did something for someone, the whole world doesn't need to know. If it's coming from a genuine place, that's between you and the person.
Yeah, that's true.
If it comes out, it comes out. But it's not everything. Oh yeah, you sing it to the whole world. It's that, to me, it's you're trying to project this character. You're trying to, this is what I did, and I'm such a great, but I did this for this. It's not necessary.
It's not.
You know,
it's not.
Silence speaks louder. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that. It's so true. Honestly, everything you said, and I'm sure everyone that's listening to this right now can learn from a lot of the things that you have said so far. Because there are a lot of young girls that are going through all these different things and they need someone to help them. And that's what ToughCess is about. It's about empowering. It's about taking people on the journeys of different people, such as yourself, you know. So, do you feel like you had a time where you was really low in your career, like really, really low, to the point where you felt like you couldn't do it anymore?
I wouldn't say couldn't do it anymore, but I got to a very low point. There's a few times I got low, but not low enough to be like, this is it, I'm done with this career path. I just always kept it pushing.
Right.
And I kid you not, within myself, I always knew that I would be successful. I just didn't know when.
Right.
And I always prayed. One of my main prayers was, I'd always say, God, you know, when my time does come, I pray that you keep me humble. Keep my heart where it's at. Because I've seen people, you know, they get the fame, they get the money, they get the fortune, and then it changes them. And then a month later, they lose it all. So I always ask, please keep me humble, keep me sane. Because some of them, they will lose it as well.
Mad.
They will lose it.
Madness.
You know, Hollywood, they will.
Yeah.
So, just keeping me humble, keeping my heart open, there to help others and all of that stuff. But in terms of low, I would say the lowest that I felt was literally just before Hollyoaks.
No way.
Funnily enough. And it's crazy because people just don't know the half. People don't realize, people don't understand. So I went through an audition process before Hollyoaks.
Right.
And it was for a TV show, a TV program, just as successful. And, you know, I got down to the finalists.
Wow.
And there's been many times that I got down to the final too. But with this one in particular, I was like, yeah, this is it. I felt it in my bones. I felt it in my body. I was like, yeah, this is it. And I went down back and forth, did the audition process, loved everyone, and I went and did the table reading and met all the other actors on the show and whatnot. And then I came back feeling like, yeah, cool, you know? I built myself up to the point where in my career also, when I do go on auditions, I would do my audition, I would give it my all, and it would be a case of I'm leaving it where it's at.
Yeah.
If I get it, I get it. If I don't, it's on to the next one.
Yeah.
I built myself up to that level. But with this one, it was like, cool.
You really want it.
In my mind, I said, I've got this.
Yeah.
So when I got the call from my Asian, he said he always calls me about it as well. He'd like, because sometimes you can get an email sent to you. He'd always call me and let me know.
Right.
He's like, this one wasn't it, but you've got the next one. And I remember sitting in my apartment, and I don't cry a lot, but I felt it. I felt it. And I was sat in my apartment and I started crying and I just started speaking aloud, and I was just like, God, universe, whoever's listening right now, what do I need to do? You know, I've been on this journey for such a long time and I just don't understand what is it? What am I not doing right? Am I in the right career path? Is there something else that you want me to do? Is there, you know?
Guide me.
And I was like, please just give me answers. Like, speak to me.
Absolutely.
Let me know what it is. Like, and I will just go with the message that you sent to me.
Yeah.
And I remember having that moment, and you know, I was in a bit of a state, and then I sat there for a little while, and I was like, all right, cool, I got it out of my system, because sometimes you need that good cry, honey.
You do.
Like, holding it in, I had my fair share of bottling stuff in and then exploding when I don't need to explode.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I released it, I was like, yeah, cool, I released what I needed to release. And I kid you not, within the space of about 15 minutes, I got an email from my agent. He sent me a script through, And he was like, we're on to the next one.
Wow.
Then I seen it. I didn't know what it was at first because they're very confidential and whatnot.
Right, okay.
But at the bottom of it, I seen like the Netflix banner. So I thought, oh, okay, this is a Netflix thing. Cool. So he sent me the script through and whatnot. I sat there, I annotated it. I went through, I embodied the character. And I was like, oh, cool. Messaged him back straight away. When are we taping this? Because I always bother him.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes as an actor, realistically, you're supposed to tape your stuff by yourself at home, get someone to come and help you.
Yeah.
Me, that's another thing with Darren. I'd be like, Darren, are you free?
Yeah.
Can we tape this?
Yeah.
And I'd always be bothering him, and he'd be like, Garcia, come.
Yeah.
Just come. I'm free tomorrow. I'm free this day.
Aww.
So I said, when are you free? And he's like, let's do this tomorrow. So I went the next day, and before we taped it, we were talking about the previous job, and he was like, how are you feeling, whatever. And I was just like, do you know what? It's really crappy, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I understand, let's get this done. So we taped and whatnot. I did what I needed to do, got into it. He sent the tape off. Now, a week later, I was still feeling, I literally had a full week of feeling just down. I was just down. And I had my small business where I've been pushing, and I just put my focus into that, and I was like, do you know what, let me just focus on I Lost Beauty right now. Let me just get these lashes up and sorted, and anything that I had sold out, restock it, and life goes on, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I remember messaging him, and I was like, hey Darren, do you mind if I pop round later? I'm just not feeling myself these days. And he was like, I completely understand. He's like, come. He said, come. So anyway, I remember I walked round, because he doesn't live far from me either.
Yeah.
When I say I bother this man,
You bother him.
he's local. I'm like, please, I need you.
Yes.
So yeah, I walked around there, and biggest hug. And that's one thing about us. Like we will embrace each other, and if we need a moment to cry or feel what I need to feel, he will genuinely be there to let it out. So yeah, I was there, and I was talking to him. He was like, what's going on? What's going through your mind? What's up? And I laid everything on him. Previously, I kid you not, this is not me. I would be at home just going through what I need to go through, and just, it's whatever. And tough it out. And then I'm on to the next. I was just telling him, I was like, Darren, I don't know what's going on. I just feel this and this type of way. I feel like, every time I come to the final two, I get the news back that I didn't get it. And I'm just questioning. Like, I don't want to doubt myself, but I'm in that mind frame of, what am I not doing right? And, he was just speaking life into me. And he was like, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're so resilient. You're so strong. He was like, it's just one of those things. This is not the one, but something's going to come.
Yes.
And he's like, when it comes, just make sure you're ready.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, but it's just like, even the job that I just filmed last week with you, we've not heard anything. So anyway, he was like, give me a minute. He stepped out of the room. Then he came back. Then we were talking.
Yeah.
So then I seen that he got an email, but I'm not paying too much of attention to what he's doing. I'm just in my own mind.
Feelings.
Yeah, I'm just like, So then he gets a phone call. Then he steps out. Then he steps back in, and then he was like, "The job that you auditioned for last week, they're interested.
Amazing.
They want to see you. They want to do another audition process with you." So I was like,
Okay,
I was stuck in my tracks. I was like, oh, okay. Immediately, my energy was just like, straight up. We put music on. We were vibing out. Like, we always listen to like Michael Jackson's and just, groovy songs. And we were just vibing out. We were like, yes, okay, cool, let's do it. Come to find out, it was the Hollyoaks process.
Amazing.
Yeah, so then I did my audition processes for that. And then come to find out, I went to see him again, and we were talking. And then he was like, they want to see you face to face. You need to go down to such and such place. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then did my final process for them. I did what I needed to do. I left it there. When I left the studios, I said, you know what? I walked outside. I said, God, if this is it, it's it. If it's not, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back to the same routine, but I'm going to keep pushing. Because what I realized was the day that I was in my apartment and I called out for answers and whatnot.
Yeah.
I received my answer through the email saying, you're on the right path.
Right.
This is what you were built to do.
Exactly.
This is just this is a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to take those L's for your wins. So when I got the I didn't realize until later on, because remember I was in my feelings at this point. So I'm like, on to the next one. So when I got the job from Hollyoaks, and I was like, oh my God, what the, like, I started rejoicing. I started to reflect, and I was like, everything that I went through, everything that I was feeling, all the highs, the lows, the emotions, that was building me. That built me to a point where, like, I felt invincible. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
Are you
guys dumb?
Are you dumb? Like, literally, I was like, are you crazy? Like, no. Like, I genuinely have been working my ass off, and no one can tell me
nothing
any different.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I've been put on this earth to do. Yeah. And it's not just to be an actor, it's to speak life into others, to experience what I'm experiencing, and pave the way for those younger than me. Like, I've had people reach out to me, how did you do this, how did you do that? I'm like, everyone has a different journey,
of course,
but just feel what you need to feel, go through what you need to go through, and believe in yourself. That's the main thing.
Keep going. Yeah, it's true.
Belief.
It's true, honestly. So, guys, that's been Garcia's journey so far, but we're going to go into her experience on Hollyoaks.
Ooh.
You know, we've listened to her journey as, you know, a little bit about Garcia Brown, a little bit about your background, who you are as a person, and now we're getting on to the highs. You've struggled all these years, you've been working on yourself, you've been building yourself, and finally this amazing opportunity has come your way. How do you actually feel, and how has it been going so far? What's your role? Tell us all about it.
So I play Zoe Anderson on Hollyoaks. She's a detective, and she's not just a detective. The thing that I love about my character is there's two sides to her. She's got two different personalities, right?
Right.
So she's a very workaholic businesswoman, and I can relate to this character so much. So when I'm acting, I'm not acting as this character. I am portraying elements of me.
Yes.
And I feel like as an actor, that's what needs to be done. You don't go in acting like this made up disbelief character.
Right.
You bring truth into the character that you're playing, you know? So she's this, you know, businesswoman, detective. She's all about her business, and she won't let anything come in the way of what she has built herself up to do.
Right.
But then when the lights go out and she hangs her her badge up, honey, she's outgoing. She loves to let loose. She loves to be around her friends. She loves to party. I like to party, but not so much as Zoe. But she's all around fun, loving. She's enjoyment.
I love that. I love that.
So I enjoy playing the character and everything that she's about. I'm still, you know, depicting little bits and still adding. Okay, I want to add this to her. I want to add that to her, and you know, things that I go through on a day-to-day basis. I put that into my character. You know, I add those elements in, and I enjoy everything that I'm doing.
I love that. I love that so much for you, because I think it's so beautiful seeing your journey and then actually reaping the benefits now. You know, you got the little verification tick now on the Instagram. We've seen that.
I got that. When I say social media is funny, it's a very funny thing. Like, you know, prior to that, when I was on my grind and I was on my struggles and whatnot, you know, I have my people, and this is the thing, I'll always stick to my genuine people, and those that have been there
from the beginning.
But you see the little ones that will be popping out the woodworks now, and oh my goodness,
it's Garcia.
I see you too. I see you. But I know, I peep the energy, and you know,
she feels it.
When the verification tick come through, a lot of them want to now take you seriously. They want to, they want to, oh my goodness, and they want to talk to you now. Because I realize with, you know, and not all of them are like this. Like, there's a lot of influencers, and you know, everyone's their own person. But from the ones that I've met, the ones that I've been around, and everybody, they have a certain way of thinking. And if you don't have that social status, it's just like, you're some any person. Like, why are you even talking to me for that long? And me as a person, I just, everybody's human. We're all human at the end of the day. We all bleed blood, you know?
Exactly.
So, you know, when I've peeped that they're this way, I'm like, oh, okay, that's who you are. That's how you do things. All right, cool. So now that the verification tickets come along, and some of them want to come and have combo, talk. I'm like, now you have time.
Now you have time
for
me.
Talk to me, Now you want us to go do brunch. You want to do brunch.
No, we're not doing brunch.
No, we're not doing brunch. I mean, my schedule is booked out. I'm sorry.
I'm busy.
So, and it's not even in a cocky way. It's just, you didn't have time for Garcia before. Yeah. So now that Garcia's got a verification, please keep the same energy and don't have time for,
it's true.
You know?
It's true. You got to let them know.
I pay attention to a lot of things, and I don't sugarcoat it either.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if I'm around you, and I will have conversation. Cool. Yeah. He.
Yeah.
But don't expect us to be buddy and best friends and pally.
Yeah.
That's just that. It's not
we
how
can
I
have
operate.
a little kiki.
Yeah, like
that's about it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's levels. There honestly are levels, and I protect my energy. I protect that for the life of me.
Yeah.
I will not stop protecting it. And as I said, there's a lot of people out there that will drain you of your energy. They will suck your energy dry.
Yeah.
They will come and imitate you and act like you're the one imitating them.
Yeah, and all this stuff.
I protect my peace and I protect my energy.
Yeah.
And I will never allow anyone to come and call me out of that.
Yeah,
so,
I love that. And do you feel like it's been easy for you to do that with your cast as well, with your new colleagues and stuff? Because, you know, when you get into this scene, you can be a bit excited as well. Yeah. It's a new industry. You see a lot going on. And you have to remain grounded. You know, one thing that you wanted was to remain humble. So, yeah, like, how has that been for you? Like, actually still acting like that with your new castmates and stuff?
With the cast and the production team and everyone on Hollyoaks, I can actually say it's a family over there. Everyone is so warm, so welcoming. Yeah. As soon as I got on set, it was just like one of the first things that I said was like, this is my little family, this is my on-screen family. Like immediately they're so lovely over there, and I cannot stress that enough, because sometimes you can go into a work environment and people make you feel out of place. They will be snobbish, they'll act better than you, and there are individuals that are like that, but it's just like, for me it's a case of, you know, I know who I am, I know what I stand for, and I know I'm here to do a job at the end of the day. We don't have to be best friends. We don't have to have conversations 24/7, but we're here to work. Right. You know, but at Hollyoaks, it's not even that kind of energy. It's just like, you know, even if you're not on screen with this person, or you'll never work with this person, you will cross them in the corridor, you'll cross sets, you will go into the lunchroom and see them, and you can still have a conversation, and how are things, they check on me a lot, how are things going? And, you know, people, I'm still meeting people to this day. I've been in Hollyoaks since last year, October.
Wow.
Yes.
And you just made the announcement.
The announcement was in February. Yes. So I had to keep that secret for months. Wow. Like, honestly, I was just working.
Girl, you need an award for that one, because me, the whole world would have known. Listen, me, I'm on Hollyoaks now. Y'all better know about it.
No, I had to get that on the wraps because you signed NDA.
Right, okay.
Makes sense.
What she said, they have to NDA my mouth too. Because me, the whole world would be knowing.
Please, I'm in Hollyoaks, don't talk to me. Yes,
you know who I am.
But no, I'm a very private person anyway.
Right,
so with that, it wasn't hard. It was just the people that, you know, I'm close with, I had to hold it from them, and I was just like, it's kidding me. Yeah, and like my close friends were like, let's do this, and I'm like, I can't meet up, I'm busy, I've got this and that to do. I had to give them the most excuses.
Oh my gosh.
But when I did drop the news, they understood, and they were just over the moon. Like, amazing. Everybody that has known my journey and understood where I'm coming from, what I've built up, it wasn't just a win for me, it was a win for them as well. And that's one thing that I can actually be proud of, is that, you know, I'm sharing this win with so many people, so many individuals, and I'm proud of that.
I love that.
So yeah, it's being on set with everyone. It's amazing, and as you said, staying grounded is one thing that I genuinely I hold on to. Yeah, and you know, no matter what day I've had or how stressful it's been or whatever it may have been going through, because you know, when I lost both friends, Malfu and Joe, I still had to go to work, and I still had to put my brave face on and pretend as if, I kid you not, for a week. Within the first week of 2 weeks, because it was Joe first and then Malfu. Within the first 2 weeks, nobody knew what I was going through at work. You know, I would drive to work, because it's a drive for me, and I would drive to work and I'd feel all the emotions. I'd feel what I need to feel, and then the minute that I got into the car park, I'd switch off. And it was just like work mode. And then I'd do what I need to do, hair and makeup. Then I'd leave work, and then I'd be able to feel what I need to feel again. You know. And then it wasn't until the second week, literally a week into Malfu, I couldn't hold it anymore. I couldn't. No, I could not. My heart just got really heavy. I was in hair and makeup one day, and I was just like, no.
I mean, you knew Michael since you were 16, and you're now 28.
Darling.
So.
And he's one person that this win, he would have been rejoicing.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Sis!
Yeah.
It's about time.
It's about time. You've been learning them lines since.
Like, when I say he would try and get me out, I'd be like, I've got to learn lines before. You've been learning those lines since. Come on, man. You need to have some fun.
To live your life.
Yeah, like, literally. So, with that being said, yeah. And even Joe as well. Joe, you know, we acted together. We wrote scripts together. Wow. We have a series that we're putting out. We've got like 8
so
different
he was
scripts.
in the acting scene as well.
He was an actor. He was on Coronation Street.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So with that being said, it was just two huge. It was 2 brothers that I lost basically, and it got to the point where I couldn't, as much as I'd want to do the brave face thing, I couldn't. And when I finally opened up to the production team and told them what I was going through, they were astonished. They were like, "Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, you have been putting up with this for 2 weeks, and They were like, we commend you, but you need to take a break.
Yeah.
They said take a break.
Yeah.
And I got some time off work, and, you know,
I love that.
recollected myself. I got to be around individuals that I cared about, that were going through the same thing that I was going through, e.g. yourself.
Yeah.
And we just felt what we needed to feel. And, you know, it took a while for both funerals because of the circumstances, but
it was a lot.
We got there. We got there, and yeah. Me personally, I felt like I gained from the loss. I gained angels. Yeah. And I gained strength. Because after, I was like, if I can get through this, what can I not get through?
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
Like,
definitely.
In the space of 2 weeks.
Losing 2 people. Funeral on the same day, guys.
The same day.
Yeah. I don't know how you did that, but Garcia, you is a champion.
Go.
Oh, you've done a lot, and it's so amazing hearing your story and having you on here today. It's been a pleasure, like, just listening to you talk me through your journey and everything, because you're doing amazing. You're going places, and I hope you're celebrating yourself, because you deserve to celebrate yourself.
Need to celebrate, but you know, right now is work. But,
honestly,
when time comes to celebrate,
you will celebrate
with the right people.
You will celebrate, honestly. So how do you, last question.
Yes.
How would you summarize your ToughCess journey? Summary
would be constant believing in myself, and, you know, it's been a roller coaster, but that's life.
Yeah,
you know, that's life. You have your highs and you have your lows, but no matter what, sticking it through and trusting in the process.
Yes,
like, the process has so much to do with it, because looking back, there were things that I was going through, relationship wise, friendship wise, I didn't understand at the time. Like, what is this? Why am I going through this? What is this feeling that I'm feeling? But each feeling, each emotion, everything that I was going through, things that were said to me that built me, was for a reason. It's for a purpose. It got me to where I am, and I'm still on that journey, you know? And I don't even think that I'm at the tip of the iceberg yet. I'm still climbing up that mountain of success. And I just feel like trust. Yeah. That's my keyword.
Yeah, trust. Amazing. Wow. Thank you so much, Garcia, for coming on to the ToughCess Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I feel so honored. Like, you don't even understand.
It's a pleasure having you, honestly, and I'm so excited for where life takes you. Please check her out on all socials. All the details will be below, and if you want to see more episodes, come back to Suma H, because this is ToughCess presented by Suma Speaks. It's a part of Suma Speaks, and we're gonna bring amazing things. So check Garcia out. Check out her new role on Hollyoaks, and I really hope you guys enjoy this episode as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe,
comment, and subscribe.
You heard her,
because there's a lot coming from this. Okay.
Period. Honestly, well, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.